In certain online spaces, it has become fairly common to complain about the lacklusterness of Minecraft and the inadequacy of its development team at Mojang. In my opinion, these complaints are often bad faith. By bad faith here, I mean both that people complain using intentionally reductive examples and that people complain without using apparently founded reasons. Justifiably, it is also common for people to jump to Minecraft's defense. In my opinion, these defensive actors are also coming at the debate / situation / whatever in some degree of bad faith. I think the real problem is that the debate has developed into being a proxy for neurodivergent people to get mad at each other online and for neurotypical people to misrepresent neurodivergent people. That is, the fuss is not really about Minecraft, and it's not really about game design. The videos and posts I see get made about these issues are emblematic of people feeling emotional about their special interest or hyperfixation, that it is not received the same way by other people. These emotions and the pains behind these reactions are real and valid. But being as this is rarely, if ever, addressed as being what the debate is about, I don't want to spend too much time litigating it here either. So I'll just lay out the generic structure as I see it. Autistic person / ADHD person, neurodivergent person, info dumps about Minecraft and why they like Minecraft, often as a response to another neurodivergent person talking about why they like some other game instead. Several popular videos have turned to Terraria. This defensiveness can go back and forth forever. The premise of this being a debate is ultimately a trap mechanism which perpetuates constrictions on an autistic or ADHD person's time and energy and resources. Because the parties aren't interacting with the heart of the matter in mutual ways, the result is a series of aimless blows sent spiraling into the abyss. Now, in addition to the good faith actors misled in their faith, there are also bad faith ones, intentionally bad faith, and these nostalgia-baiting channels and internet drama don't care about neurodivergent people, neither as people nor as a societally oppressed class at all, in the same way that Mr. Beast doesn't.
Arrangement with fate.
Okay, whatever. Let's presume this isn't about autistic people being hoodwinked, it's about Minecraft and game design and etc. The first thing that annoys me about this back and forth is when people complain about Minecraft's game design and others defend by saying, you don't understand. That's not why people play Minecraft. People actually like it because of list X, Y, or Z. And what's more, because you didn't realize that, you're dumb and nothing you say matters. To be clear, this is a straw man. I am exaggerating for convenience of levity. The latter part of this statement that I just gave, the what's more, is not vital to my argument. I am in truth speaking about the not / actually dichotomy and the assumptions it rests upon. That's not why people play Minecraft. People actually like it because of blank. While I think I agree to some extent with what the defensive person is saying, I find that the people critiquing Minecraft for not having a good combat system, for example, to be drawing attention to an aspect of the game, good or bad, that I, as a player, don't choose to interact with in the first place, I find their overeagerness to be betraying them. The desire to produce a miracle cure for the question of game design in Minecraft extends from a belief that there are miracle cures in game design, that there are correct ways to play games, that there are correct reasons to like games, that there are correct ways to make games. That is, I find this response to replicate the logic of the original, bad faith, objectivist critique. The recent times I've played Minecraft, for example, have correlated with hyperfixations resulting in me zoning in on a minor part of the game. In one SMP with my friends, my entire play pattern revolved around farming beetroots and farming the resources needed to make rabbit stew. I lived near an abandoned mineshaft, and I replaced all the floor blocks with farmland. My only above ground structures were a rabbit farm, and I lived in a swamp to better get mushrooms, growing them with bone meal in holes in the ground. To be clear, this was not maximally efficient, and I ended up burning out after maybe a month or two. Nevertheless, I look back at this world and the times I spent playing on it with fond enjoyment. In saying all of this, to be clear, I'm not intending to say that I played Minecraft correctly. Rather, I mean to point out that there are other ways of being. Even if Minecraft had a more robust combat system, I would still probably play the game these ways. It's how I enjoy playing Minecraft.
See, Minecraft should bring you joy. If you're not playing the game in a way that brings you joy, you should probably reconsider how you're playing the game, right? And I have thought about it, and this is the optimal joy-generating build for me. And you might say, what's the theme of this shop? Inconveniencing the police because they'll have to move a fire.
Run foul of the fence.
Returning to the question of Minecraft's game design, I think there are still things we can and probably should be critical of, or at least take an eye to. That is, with Minecraft and elsewhere, we ought to be critical of how a game and its developers go about approaching their world, the logic with which they've decided to make this game come into being with and perpetuate upon. Following upon this methodology, I encourage criticism of Minecraft from a non-objectivist stance, if such a thing is possible. By objectivist stance, I mean, again, the perspectives of people who complain about Minecraft, that it isn't an RPG, the people who complain about Minecraft's progression and combat systems, that the flow from wood to stone to iron to diamond to netherite has bad power scaling. As an example of an alternative line of critique, one thing I would encourage people to take mind to is how the ideologies that motivate and perpetuate the existence of Minecraft are, in so many words, colonial ones. That is, ones which reify and thereupon work upon the logic of a colonial, oftentimes settler colonial perspective. Yes, it is possible to counter people complaining about Minecraft's combat by saying that the game is called Minecraft, not Minekill, etc., etc. That is, people play the game because it's a sandbox game that has a robust building system, not specifically to kill the Ender Dragon. But mining and crafting aren't neutral acts either, right? The game is about resource extraction. The game exists in a sandbox world which operates upon the logic of the wilderness, that there exists a vacant place out there which lies in wait for the modern man with a capital M to tame it. Periodically, there are people out in this wilderness, villagers primarily, but they can only exist in certain predetermined biomes, and within those, only within certain grid-aligned structures and societies. This is to be compared with our world, where indigenous people, Minecraft's gameplay and advancement system do little to incentivize an indigenous relation to place, have inhabited and continue to inhabit all manner of biomes, and live in all manner of structures and communities. I believe it would be possible to play the game in ways that countermand its colonial leanings, or which otherwise seek out ethical relationships of mutual flourishing, but these ways of playing are not what the game engine incentivizes. Nevertheless, the fact that other ways of interacting with Minecraft can exist should be taken into mind when passing judgment one way or the other. Incentive is not enforcement, but it is also not abnegation.
We took our ride.
I am moving now to talk about Minecraft's archaeology system, since this has emerged as a cornerstone issue for some reason. Or at least this is a point I've seen argued back and forth on at least 3 levels of follow-up. Yes, I think the people who bring bad faith complaints about archaeology are annoying and wrong. That it is useless, and that the Trails and Tales update only added more bloat to the already failing game, that mojang sucks, etc., etc. But the archaeology of this game operates on the imagination of a vanished Indian. There once was some other people that inhabited this land, but by the time we play, they are entirely gone. In their absence, they have left all of their things for you as the player to take and collect and assemble into whatever new forms you like. The player is a singular body that the world must be made to bend toward. This is truly the myth of the great man, with a capital M. Everything lies inert and patient, waiting for the player to come and extract it, liberate it, the game might want us to think, from the world.
In your arms.
Villager trading is another source of complaint I've seen levied against the game. This is a point, again, where the complainers are annoying and, in my opinion, misplaced, but the defenders are also unhelpful in their defense. Once again, this is a site where we see the vestiges of a colonial ideology. The ideology of the Minecraft villager system, as it currently exists, incentivizes players to enslave and confine their villagers, to deny their villagers agency, to make villagers into possessions such that it can be made sense of to say they're villagers in the first place. The way the system works means that players often abduct and or zombify their villagers so to increase their efficiency. This is not innocuous. And at the same time, we can mind how villagers have changed throughout the game's history. It is true, for example, that they have entered into greater agency since the beginning of the game, certainly since their days of being testificates. But that's a lot of history, and you can go make those evaluations by yourself.
Thoughtlessly annihilated, fish belly fades.
As another aside, because this has been bothering me, I've seen several people say that because Minecraft is the most sold game in the world, that fact then means that it is a good game. The logic that economic valuability equates to value is wrong. Money cannot interact with artistic merit in this way, and in fact, it is an ancillary factor to the quality. It is independent. It has no relevance, especially the moral quality of a game. Especially to the moral quality of the game. I say game here, but what I am talking about applies to all media and even to people. The act of giving money, the act of exchanging dollars from one person to another cannot be a moral, though I'm not saying it is immoral act. Money does not equate kindness. If it did, this would be to say that poor people are unkind. There may be kindness transcribed in the air around the gesture or the interactions and effects which extend even beyond that, but as for the money, as for the physical commodity and the social construction, It is categorically impotent from weighing in on these kinds of evaluations. It may be closer to accurate to talk about money in proportion to how much the giver and the receiver have, but I think this too betrays the function of what it is to call something kind. Returning to Minecraft and money, though, I don't want to put blame or moral judgment on the people who make these claims. The culprit is in how capitalist logic has infiltrated the quotidian. That is, the problem is an alchemical one. Value is value. Value is not money, and as a rule, money must never be mistaken for value. The statement that a given movie or game or whatever made more money in whatever circumstances than another given movie or game or whatever does not in and of itself contain anything valuative about either entity. And so if Minecraft is good or bad, it is not because it is well selling.
I say that I say what's in my mind, my way.
This is the majority of my composed points. From here, I will go through a speed round of other points. Some number of these retread things I've already said.
Anyhow, she did not nay, I do not know.
Minecraft is not like XYZ game design rubric item. This is such an annoying claim. I take this to come from the same crowd that complains about figure drawing and critiquing pieces for not complying to perspective. That is a way to make a game. Cool. Let's stop trying to imagine that there are objective metrics to these things. I don't think it produces something to try to counter individual complaints. Response videos that do this fundamentally fail. The mob vote controversy doesn't matter. This is all nonsense. It is about these, like, we cannot go blow for blow. This doesn't produce anything.
Poor old dirty little dog sighs hoarse.
And stop with this nostalgia. The Vanishing Indian act is old and I'm sick and tired of it. Get a grip. You're not dying. And if you are, then you are. And stop complaining about it. Yeah, loss and change are hard and inevitable and all the rest. But, like, so what? Why is that an issue? It has never been a new fact that change exists. Why are people pretending like it is? Well, I say this, but I have my suspicions, so I mean the question to be more rhetorical than literal.
But yeah, let's get to the comment of the day. It says, do you miss old Minecraft? Short and sweet question here. So this is one of those questions that comes up every so often. Maybe you've seen videos on this subject. Like, old Minecraft was better, right? You had better terrain, you know, it was simpler. Remember coming home from school and playing Minecraft? I was in my 20s when it came out. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm not a huge fan of old Minecraft. Like, I feel every update the game gets better. And old Minecraft, you know, it's fun for maybe 30 minutes, an hour to look back on how things have changed. But I would not want to keep playing it. No. I find it hard even to go back a couple updates. So it's like, oh, what, you're telling me I can't right-click my armor on anymore? I can't shift-click stuff into chests? What is this garbage? Yeah. Game runs like garbage? Nope. Crashes all the time? The chunks get corrupted all the time? I remember that happening so much in Alpha Minecraft. It was a disaster always. Yeah, I like new Minecraft, for sure. And I would not want to go back.
Pretty Johnny Appleseed, leave a trail that leads straight back down to the farm.
The actual truth of the matter is that villagers are not people, and diamonds are not coltan. Although I believe it matters that Minecraft is a colonially minded resource extraction game, we find more meaningful grounds if we turn our attention to the software of Minecraft. Minecraft is versatile and available to be played across many platforms, yet despite the developers' optimization efforts, playing the game often requires at least a decently powerful computer on PC, on Java. The barrier to entry of Minecraft is not just the cost of software in the account, but also of the hardware. This is relevant because hardware, unlike software, can carry a blood tax. Computer chips are made using coltan, amongst other resources, which is extracted from the earth using child labor and in circumstances that perpetuate genocide, and deny miners that of coltan the capacities of being human. The push towards higher graphics and stronger computers toward higher rendering distances and more complex player contraptions is inseparable from this genocide and child murder. We can argue how much the individual consumer has blood on their hands. They must have some. We can't escape that. But what cannot be denied is that this apparatus is fundamentally flawed. We live in a world where there are people who are currently alive. And as cool as Minecraft may be, and as valuable as I think it is to cultivate special interests and communities around them, this does not supersede the value of human life. This is not more important than perpetuating a system which negates human life. It does not matter if Minecraft is not the most graphically intense game, or the game which most incentivizes the extraction of mineral from the earth. It does not matter about any of these circumstantial factors. It does not matter that there are other things that are more evil and more promoting of colonial ideology and genocide than Minecraft. We should pay attention and tend to all of these other things, yes, but we should not let ourselves performing that action blind ourselves to Minecraft being a thing too. We can observe this fact. We can be critical of the game in its social context, of Mojang as a studio, of Notch as a person, as a fascist, as a Nazi, etc. So yeah, that stuff about the mob vote or Mojang being lazy is uninspired and fundamentally disconnected from the world we live in. Let's open our faith to having ourselves go all the way through the issue, all the way through and out the other side. There's no conspiracy, the glow squid isn't a scam, so what if phantoms suck? And despite my points about Minecraft operating on the myth of the vanishing Indian, the fact remains that the treatment of villagers in the game, the way that the game replicates a colonial ideology, matter, but only to a certain extent. We can critique these elements, and I think we should, but these are fiction. We must not let these critiques obstruct from taking mind of the people who are currently alive and existing in our world, Palestinians, indigenous peoples from all over the world, who are facing the kinds of oppression and discrimination and murder that we are being critical of Minecraft for reproducing. There are real genocides. It is not just this fictional one that we should invest ourselves with caring about. The end.
We are images, dreams, photographs. We must not stay here, prisoners. We shall break the illusion. This is Maya. Goodbye to the holy mountain. Real life awaits us.